Thus ends another week and begins anew. I made some ciabatta bread last night, developing a recipe for work. And then I was like, I have this split pea from a previous development left over. And then I made some really knockoff oden. So I have a lot of like oden broth left over, which is it's not a very good dashi. You're supposed to use dashi for oden. I just had some like shiitake mushroom powder, and I had some Japanese strip seaweed, not quite what you're supposed to use. You're supposed to kind of use the dried kelp. This was kind of like a heavily salted stripped seaweed. But yeah, I have this broth. I have these peas, and I figured let's just make them into a split pea soup of sorts. That way I can have some protein, fiber, vegetables, whatever you want to call it. Hair update is it's getting to a very awkward length. I don't know, but that's it. That's what we're gonna do. And also my spice cabinet, as predicted, has gone haywire again. Things have started to fall out, as I'm sure you've noticed on a couple of lives. It's a mess in there. I'm gonna try to clean it up while our soup is going. But hello NorCal. It's somebody's birthday. Hello, happy birthday. I've introduced this pot to you before, but this is one of Mom's pots that I chose to keep. I think this is the pot that I used to make the hot pot with in the last Lunar New Year Budget Eats episode. Really nice pot. It's like not too heavy, not too light. It has kind of like a hybrid copper bottom construction, so it doesn't burn as easily as my cheap ass $3 IKEA pots, which, you know, like, I do love those, but they do burn a lot and very frequently if I'm not there to stir all the time, which is intense. Sometimes you just don't have the attention span to stand there all the time. Hi, Poland. My kitchen is a mess. I should probably clean it, but a lot has happened this week, so I'm feeling a little bit behind in life. It's very easy to feel behind in life these days, but oh, hi, Fred. What up, babe? Looking real cute over there. This is gonna be our new bowl ding, but it's gonna be a chime one. Hey, buddy. Yeah? Okay. Yes, join us. Fantastic. Okay, maybe don't break the computer. That would be nice. Thank you. Let's see what we have in our fridge, huh, Fred? Okay. We got some onions. We got some scallions. We have some broccoli. We have a lot of oden stuff, which I'm sure you love to eat, right? Freddie, oden? You love oden. We have some cut carrots. We have some ham. Okay, but Aaron likes that ham, so maybe we don't touch the ham. And what's this? Freddie, what's this? Do you remember what this is? Because I don't remember what this is. For the peeps who are complimenting complimenting me on the shirt. Thank you very much. My friend Nez got me this shirt last Christmas birthday combo. I do love it very much. It is very much my feelings these days. I would like everyone, including myself, to shut up sometimes. Hi, Aaron.
Are you live?
We are live.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you dump these clothes on the bed and hand me the bag?
Hand you the bag. What bag?
This bag. So I'm bringing back the first dry batch.
Oh.
So I don't have much to carry.
Okay.
The second batch is still in the dryer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Are you still dry?
I believe so.
Fantastic. Oh, you washed the blanket too.
Yes.
Was this a big load?
Pretty big.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Bringing that.
Oh my God, Fred.
Thank you.
See you soon. Okay, Aaron's doing some laundry for us. Fred is hiding back there because I guess I scared him with some shit or another. I do have a split pea soup recipe. Not that you need a recipe to make split pea soup, but I had to do it for SEO purposes for Delish. So I will just drop the recipe down below in case anybody is interested. It's a split pea and ham soup, so it's not like a vegetarian version, but I think, you know, you can just as easily do it without any meat. Okay, I don't have celery, but I have scallions. I can substitute it with olive oil. We're just drinking olive oil. We went through like 2 bottles in the last month. Crazy. Yes, Freddie. Uh-huh. Yeah? Are you pooping? What's wrong? What's wrong, bud? I also don't have celery seeds, but I have other seeds. I have very, very many fennel seeds. I think La Chang and Cha Cha probably are fine to use. They're a little bit sweeter, but they are still porky. I'm so proud of you for pooping, Freddie. Come here. Tell everyone how good your poop was. You're trying to fit inside that tiny box, Fred. It's so tiny though. If I move the box in here, will you come hang out? Will you come hang out? This is the box he was trying to fit in. This tiny thing. Good luck, Fred. You can definitely buy MSG at a lot of online retailers. I don't think that would be an issue. I thought about making the split pea soup in the Instant Pot, but then I was like, I really want to see it cook. I enjoy the process of watching things cook and break down. You don't really get to do that in the Instant Pot. How was the laundromat today?
Surprisingly not Friday.
Huh.
Saturdays usually are, because people find it Friday, so.
What do you think it is today? What? Why do you think that is today? Was it dried out?
No.
Nice. I think he's hungry. I think he also did he just poop? Okay. Well, I guess he just peed then. But he's been very meowy. I'm not quite sure why. Meow meow.
Is that for work, whatever you're doing?
No, I'm just making some split pea soup because I haven't eaten like farty legumes in a week except for extreme amounts of peanuts and walnuts, and I'm just like, maybe it's time to put some beans back in my diet. And also I have this Oden broth that I want to not have sitting in the fridge anymore, so. You know how most recipes, and I find this a lot in like American recipes especially, is asking for minced garlic, and I never realized, maybe before this year, just how much I hate mincing garlic. So now all of my recipes just call for like quartered or roughly chopped cloves. I like the little nuggets of garlic in my food. So this is a win-win for me. I don't know why we're so afraid to have big chunks of garlic in our food, especially, right, Aaron's not, especially when it's going into something like a soup where it gets cooked down until it's basically cream. I just smash the clove, and I don't even cut it.
That's my favorite ability as well.
It's really good when you have some sort of like intense stir fry and it gets nicely caramelized and slightly gummy on the inside, and then you just bite into a clove of this like 10% pungent, 90% sweet treat garlic. Absolutely delicious.
Nice.
I have been soaking my split peas. I don't want to dump out all of this because this is like oden broth, but I'm just going to skim off the foamy bit a little bit.
June made chocolate bark.
I did make chocolate bark.
It's got what, pine nuts on it?
Pine nuts, sesame seeds, cranberry seeds, Malden salt. All right, we're gonna go in with some black pepper. And then, let's see, what else? I'm gonna go in with a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander, smoked paprika.
Do I put the kettle on?
Sure. I think I've decided that coriander is definitely in my top 4 spices. How about you, Aaron?
Coriander. Trying to isolate that flavor in my brain. Like parsley? Is that what coriander is?
Coriander is cilantro seed.
Okay. Cilantro, coriander, and parsley. What's the relationship between them?
Cilantro, coriander, and parsley. Cilantro and coriander are basically the same thing.
Okay, and parsley is something else. I think there's a lot of parsley, right? There's like flat leaf parsley, curly parsley, Italian parsley.
Yes.
Yeah, coriander seed, I don't know. I don't use that a lot. Black cardamom, I think, other than chili, of course. I don't know if you count chili as a spice. Probably.
Of course.
Other than chili, black cardamom might be my number one. Actually, chili, Sichuan peppercorn, and black cardamom are all in my top 3. Not sure which order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fred was trying to fit himself inside that box. I thought it was hilarious.
With the paper in it?
Yeah.
That's
It's like a
pretty funny.
third of his body size.
Mhm.
I like to start cooking my peas and lentils in as liquid and as little liquid as possible. Mostly because it's easier for me to like cream them and mash them without an immersion blender this way. So I'm just gonna gradually add the liquid as we see fit. I also have this leftover frozen ham bone that I used in my last batch of split pea soup, which is why it looks gunky. It's been in the freezer. I'm just gonna pop it in. And we'll get 2 uses out of it. Probably throw it away after today. But it's looking pretty good. you gonna try for the box again, Fred? He's thinking about it. It's a little bit small for you.
The paper out,
I think he likes paper. You can do it, Fred. I believe in you. Keep trying, Freddy. Here, Freddy. Look. Now you can fit, right? Just the right size for you, right? Okay, while that is cooking, I guess we should start organizing shit, huh? Yeah, Fred? What do you think? Shall we organize shit? Do you want a treat? Is that why you're here? Come. Come. Reach. Shake. Can I have your paw? Okay. Reach. Yes, Aaron is fascinated by the fact that Fred's tabby pattern is called the mackerel. Fred is apparently a mackerel tabby. Alright, Freddy, one more treat. And can you do me a favor and come up? Up. Up. Good boy. Up. I have no more treats for you, Fred. Now you just have to be cute in front of the camera, okay? Freddie, how have you been? The people are curious. No. Okay. Fred says no more pets. Fred, you look very dashing today in your little J. Crew cardigan. So aesthetically pleasing under this morning light. And with that, he leaves us. Aaron, what kind of, oh, the thermos, okay. You want it filled?
Thank you.
We are at a full boil now. It's looking very pleasant. Turn down the heat. Cover it just barely. All right. I guess I have to do organizing now. Oh, this is our tapache. Let's drink some right now. I want some tapache. I don't think, unfortunately, I used the best pineapple because it was a pineapple that I had bought for Budget Eats, and it was $1, and it wasn't fully ripe. So there's a little bit of that like burnt rubber taste in here from the unripe portions of a shitty pineapple. But nevertheless, this is all natural carbonization. I don't know if you can see the bubbles in there. It doesn't spike you the way canned seltzer does, but it does have a very nicely rounded, fruity sweetness that is kind of buoyantly cheery. Not bad for water, pineapple rind, and sugar, and thyme. So, cheers. Buoyantly cheery. Buoyantly cheery. There you go. With one too many E's because my keyboard is broken because the newest MacBook Pro keyboards suck ass. That's it. All right. How did it become red? I used that unrefined sugar that comes in little tiny cones. Fuck. It's like a Mexican sugar. God, what is that? Somebody help me out. I just lost the word for it. But that is unrefined and therefore a very dark brown color, and that's what colored the drink brown. Piloncillo, that's it. Thank you for that. Oh, let me move the camera so you can see inside the cabinet. There it is. It is a mess again, already, always has been, probably always will be. Aaron, this tapache is delicious. Do you want a glass?
What's delicious?
Tapache.
Sure.
Do you want it straight or mixed with pomegranate?
What do you recommend?
I honestly just had a glass of it straight, and it's kind of alcoholic.
Sure. Give it to me.
Is that butter in the dish?
Yes, I have it out for the ciabatta. Because I'll be eating a lot more of that.
The ciabatta?
Ciabatta.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
I'm feeling buzzed. I'm feeling like very tight behind the eyeballs. What?
That's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? Gonna get crunk and drunk on this live today. Okay. I don't even know how I'm supposed to organize this, to be honest with you, because I think it's just gonna be a shit show anyway, no matter what I do. So, I don't even know if I should bother with this, but. Oh my god. You guys. Remember when the nutmeg jar fell last time and I was like, thank god it didn't break? Look what I just noticed. It broke. And it like contained the break inside, the jar broke inside itself. And there are shards now with my nutmeg, so we're gonna have to transfer this out. Sadly. Jesus, I've never seen this happen before. Wow. This is incredible. We should open this over the garbage bin because it's quite scary. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that just completely fell apart. Wow. Well, the good thing is the nutmeg is whole, so I can still use them. But this is going into the recycle bin. Terrifying. You can get a whole nutmeg in probably like a fancier health food store too. I've seen it actually in my not so fancy grocery stores. There's something off about this tripod and I don't know what. Sorry guys. But I will say that if you've never had whole nutmeg freshly grated into your food, you've not really had nutmeg before because the pre-ground stuff just tastes really unpleasant to me. It has this slightly medicinal astringency that is almost so nutty that it's bitter. So I don't like the ground stuff, but here we go. Gotta find a new jar for this now. We only have a little bit of this, so I'm gonna put it into. We need to get rid of both of these. I'm very sad about this brand of furikake because I can never remove the metal lid and therefore I can never reuse these glass jars. It makes me very sad. It makes me not want to buy their furikake anymore, but I don't have many options. Like, this packaging is so unfriendly to getting out every last bit. Also, the silicone packet gets stuck in there too. Makes me unreasonably angry. So we married the two furikake. We're gonna recycle this shit now to make more space. What else can we do? What else can we do? What's everyone else drinking? Have I ever purchased the product just because I like the jar? Have I ever? What else is there to buy things for, if not for the jar? Sorry, transferring the furikake into a smaller jar so that I can use this bigger jar for another bag of furikake. Because Aaron got me these two from Tokyo like 5,000 years ago. I've never opened them before, but I think today's the day. They're so expired. I don't even know if the sesame seeds are still good.
Are you finally opening the furry cakes?
The furikakes. This one expired in August of 2020, and this one expired in June of 2020. So, for some reason, the kanji on this packaging, the two big one in the middle, if you translated it from Chinese, it says man plum. So something about this plum is very manly. Not exactly sure. Guys, look at this ingenious Japanese packaging. There's a double layer inside this bag containing the silicone packet. You probably can't see it. Can you? Yeah, you can. Look at that. It's not actually touching the furikake. It's just embedded in a liner inside the bag. There's a silicone packet there, keeping things dry. Very Japanese thinking. Everything calculated perfectly. Nice and pink. Right now you're a little bit backlit, so you can't actually see. How about this way? Yeah, now you can see better. Nice and pink. Smells fine. Do you like this very angry looking plum with very jacked arms? I think I will turn into like the Hulk after eating this. I have some dregs. Tastes delicious. A little bit sour, a little bit tart. Very pickly, plummy. Don't know if I have a jar for this for kake. Does anybody read Japanese? I don't know I don't know what this one is. I think it just has, for the most part, sesame seeds and salt, potentially. Okay. And we'll find the jar. Let's see what I can transfer. Do 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 do. Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna try to transfer this like hodgepodge of spices in here. Empty this out for the furikake. Think we can do it. Yes. Perfect. Sesame seeds and salt. I was right. All right. Transferring our label over. Great. I just hear gentle wheezing. And look who it is. Do you want to smell this, Fred? Want to smell it? He says no. Doesn't smell like cat food. Yep. Just sesame seeds and salt. Oh, that's very salty and very nutty. Very delicious. Thank you, Aaron.
Oh yeah, how are they?
Good. My cam is not blurred.
Let's see if I remember better.
It might be the connection issue.
Do you still have the package?
No, I don't. I just threw them out.
This one's very peppery.
No, that's in a container that used to hold pepper.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Then I can't smell it. But it looks cool. What are the black bits?
That's
Caraway?
sesame.
Okay.
And then here's the umeboshi one.
Ooh. This is the man plum.
Yes, the man plum.
I've seen Fred's man plums.
Can you not?
This one looks good. I think I'd enjoy this one. Cool.
Starting to feel a little bit better. As soon as I clear out more jars, I think we'll be better. I'm gonna take a sit. Oh, let's check up on our soup. Very tender. And here's the thing I like about using this little liquid is I can start mashing the peas basically right away with just a wooden spoon. I don't need like an immersion blender or anything. I can just start turning them into a smooth paste cream just by agitation. If you had more water, this is going to be very, very hard to do. I, of course, love smooth immersion blending. I think nothing really beats that aeration, but if you don't have a gadget, it is mush bliss.
Toledo photos, too.
What?
Nice Toledo photos.
Oh, you just saw me share them with you?
Yes.
That was,
Cathedral, the pine nut cookies, or the Manchego more?
I think I really enjoyed the Manchego Museum because I found like the only wine that up to that point I liked in my life. And then we discovered it was only like €6 and I was like, good wine can be this cheap. It was life changing. What year was that?
I don't know.
I think it was 2019.
1998?
No, was it either 2019 or 2018? You know, I've never seen The Exorcist, and I don't think that is a movie I plan to for the rest of my life. Oh, I will tell you, I did just watch that old movie In the Cut, and it was like a huge scandal when it first came out because I think Meg Ryan, who was like America's rom-com sweetheart up until that point of When Harry Met Sally fame, and You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle, and she's only played like these very cute girl next door sweethearts. She apparently, I think she had some sort of like Botox lips, which was very like shamed for plastic surgery type morality standards back then. This was maybe 2003, so Botox wasn't like literally everywhere yet, and everybody was up in arms about how she changed her appearance. And then she did this like nude sex scene because In the Cut is kind of an erotic thriller of sorts, and I remember it just being like very tabloidy response. And then I watched it and I was like, that's it? Why was she given so much crap for it. But it has that kind of stereotypical late 90s movie feel where it's just like everything is still a little bit fake in that movie sense. It's not a bad movie, I wouldn't say, but it is kind of like melodramatic.
In the era of WAPs, standards have changed.
In the era of WAP, standards have changed.
Yes, people aren't as easily
Scandalized. It's fascinating to look back on what sort of things cause scandals and ruin people's lives, and then to compare it to our lives now where everything's just anything goes. Fascinating. Now, who doesn't get Botox? It's just like, oh, you don't have Botox yet? It's like you didn't have your chicken pox yet.
Where are you getting your Botox?
I don't think I need Botox. It's a good marker of when I should die. You know, it's just like when you.
Are you saying Meg Ryan should be dead?
No, it's a good marker for me personally of when I should be dying. It's very strange to give you this. I don't want to be giving myself this illusion of permanent youth and perfection when the natural order of things is to degrade and become sadder looking. That's just. And by the way, when I say sadder looking, I was like, this sounds wrong. And it kind of is because obviously we value as a society beauty, youth, blah, 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 whatever. But like everyone likes fall, and the leaves in fall change colors and then they dry up and crumple, and we like, stomping on them, and dogs love diving into them. It's just like it changes. It's not always going to look the same. It's not always going to have the same purpose. You literally become trash. But trash is good. Like compost is trash and compost is nourishment. Like that's just how things go. So when we have these ideas of connotations attached to words like sad and trash, it makes you wonder, why did these things come to own these connotations, and is there a way where we can change the connotations that these words hold for us? Because like trash isn't bad, but it is bad in the context of our society not valuing trash and outputting trash and trying to forget about trash by either burying it underground in poor neighborhoods or literally throwing it into our water. It's just how we deal with trash that makes trash undesirable. It's not that trash is undesirable to begin with. Very good. Beauty fades, stupid is forever. Stupid's not forever either. Everyone is a little bit malleable. Do you want any of the split pea soup or oden or anything I'm about to eat?
Who, me?
Yeah?
No.
No, my imaginary friend Anthony. Okay. You have no interest in the oden later either, do you?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna eat all of your ciabatta today.
Okay. Can you eat it with your spinach?
Yes.
You can make like a spinach dip with the do you want me to make you a spinach dip with the vegan mozzarella?
Go for it. Go while I don't have none.
Okay. cooking project because I got tired of organizing. So I'm just gonna procrastinate on that. Erin got this bag of spinach. Hi, Freddie. You're back. For like $2, but a lot of it is kind of wilty. So we need to start eating some of it because I think he's been ignoring it. We also got coupons for vegan cheese from Miyoko. Some of them are great, but not if you're expecting, this just isn't mozzarella. A lot of the cheeses are very tart for some reason. They have this acidity to them that I'm not a fan of. But I think I'm going to try to make Erin like a little garlic spinach dip maybe. And then you can eat it with the ciabatta, which I can show you now. Ciabatta. Ta-da! What I love most is what the bottom crust looks like. Look at that. I love these little splinters. So I think a nice spinach dip will be really good slathered on a piece of that ciabatta. Right, Freddie? Fred, you're always kind of creepy, just like heavy breathing in the background there. I think what I'm going to do is cut up some garlic, briefly saute it with the spinach, just so that we can get the raw taste out of it first, and then we'll blend it up with that vegan cheese and spice it. If you do have salad greens and they are going bad, I highly recommend that you take out the bad ones as soon as possible, or they will begin to infect the surroundings very quickly. you promised me you would like take care of this bag though, and you haven't. It upsets me. Can I have you pay me so I can process this spinach so that it stops giving me anxiety? It's been here a whole week.
Hey, you.
Yes, because
Alright, so I need a HEPA request.
great. I'm not doing free labor. It's very tedious washing salad greens out and sorting out the gunky stuff. Especially when you said don't buy it because it'll be a lot of work to sort it out. I have actually gotten slightly sick on gunky salad greens before, so I don't really like to be lazy with that. It will give me the runs. Gonna put a little bit of that black pepper mix that we just put into this small container in. And I'm just gonna wait for the garlic to turn a little bit golden, and then we can shut off the heat. Because the spinach is, for the most part, pretty wilted. You have to think about it this way. I've spent close to an hour before processing veggies that I had purchased at a discounted rate because they were going bad. And it's a good deal, but also, is it worth an hour of your time to do that? At one point in my life, probably, right now in my life, I'm just like, an hour? Give me the fucking hour. But once it's in my house, I don't want to throw it out. I don't want to waste it. So then I have this compulsion to take care of it and use it. And that's what gives me anxiety. Because now I'm responsible for it. So when I open the fridge and I have to see this every day, and I realize it's not getting better, it's just getting worse, then every day the anxiety climbs. Now this is, in the grand scheme of things, not a terrible anxiety, but it does add to my other anxieties, which can then form mega anxiety. So every little thing becomes a tiny trigger. Because then your brain lights up. Once you hit one anxiety trigger, my entire brain lights up with all my other anxieties. It's kind of like when you have a laundry bag that's just collecting dirty laundry, and every week it gets heavier, and every week it gets harder to actually do the laundry. So I'm gonna let the spinach cool a little bit. And then I was initially thinking of using the Vitamix, but I don't think that's gonna be a go because it's too small an amount. I actually think what I'm going to do is to plop this into a bowl, plop this into a bowl, let it warm up with the spinach, and then I'll immersion blend. That sounds like a plan to me. If you're vegan and you like cheese, I don't know how you do it, guys. This is just like, it's like not terrible, but it's not cheese. It doesn't, I would rather just eat tofu and resign myself to a life without cheese. I've had good vegan cream cheese, but there's just like, this texture is all wrong. The taste is all wrong. Again, it's not terrible. It's just not cheese. Like if you presented this to me as like a I don't even know, like cashew mash. The seasoning is wrong too. I think it just takes a while to get used to, and I've not submitted myself to a life without dairy yet. So this is just very hard for me to accept, but I'm sure as with all things, you adapt. I don't know what dong po ro. I don't know what that is. It's a meat dish, but dong po ro. I have no idea. I don't know what that is. Sorry. So no, probably I have not ever made it. I don't make very many Chinese dishes. I didn't really grow up with parents who like cooked for fun. It was just cooked to get food on the table. So there's a lot of Chinese cuisine that I did not get to learn. In the later part of her life, my mom cooked for me, not because she really liked to cook. I had the feeling that she never really quite loved to cook, but she loved cooking for me. She loved using that opportunity to make something for me and show her love for me that way, which surprisingly enough, I didn't really grasp the practice of that love language until after she had passed. And then when I started reading on like all these random articles I kept coming across about how important food is in Chinese culture, I was like, yeah, I always knew this, but somehow my brain just never clicked that that was the way that my mom was saying, hey, I love you. Here's some food that I made just for you. It just didn't hit me, but I've never heard it by that name before. I mean, I've made braised pork belly. I've made it a couple times on Budget Eats, but I don't really have a traditional recipe, unfortunately. So I'm going to let this mixture sit a little bit. I'm going to add, you want this spicy dip or plain dip, and you can add spice later?
Sure,
Sure what?
that's fine, whatever you wanna do.
Okay. We're gonna add a little bit of this crushed chili pepper, just to spice it up a little bit. And then Aaron can add it later. Yeah, I've never been to Suzhou, so I'm not very familiar with the food in that region at all. I just made food for my grandma because I don't know what else to give her, you know, like, so I just bring her food because I feel like that's the only thing that I can do for her at this point. I feel very powerless, very useless in terms of making her life significantly improve in any way because of COVID and the inability to travel. That's all I can do for grandma is to bring her snacks. Ooh, I just got a Slack notification. Who be Slack? Oh, it's just random. It's interesting how these days I kind of go through very quick fluctuations between feeling like I've accomplished nothing and then feeling like very overwhelmed for no reason and then suddenly realizing that I did do a lot, but I never know which side of me is gaslighting which side of myself, so it's just constantly feeling like not of one brain, if that makes sense, which is kind of tiring to be. I would like to have one brain. And then you think, what does it matter? Anyway, there's constant wars going on, and it's like, what does it all matter anyway? Hi, Nairobi. How much do you guys think I should charge Aaron for cleaning through these greens? What price do you think is fair, all things considered? Now keep in mind, I didn't have to clean it. I could have just let it sit in there and let him handle it because he was going to. Doing this more out of a need to like get this out of my life, if that makes sense. And yes, to a certain degree, my life cannot be extracted and separated from his life, which is part of the problem, but taking all of that into consideration. $20. He could have bought like 5 containers of perfectly healthy spinach for that money. I was thinking more like $250. 800. Free because you offered, right? That's valid. Well, he did do the laundry. That's also true. We have shared responsibilities. We take turns cleaning the litter box. Usually I clean the bathroom, maybe mop the floors while he does laundry. Today I didn't get to do that yet. It's kind of hard to feel like you're always being completely even on the quid pro quo level of sharing duties, especially when shit happens. And then you're like, I'm overwhelmed. I cannot do this anymore for the meantime. And then you'll just have to see how flexible people are, including yourself. I don't think he would like to do an Irish dance for the live right now. I could be wrong, but I don't think he would. Did you finish the cake yet, Aaron? Did you finish the cake yet?
No, almost.
There was a comment left on a live a while back, and I've been thinking about it for a very long time. It was on one of those lives where I was being mean, and people wrote in all sorts of stuff. And then there was one comment that basically said, like, this is a... You know what, maybe I should find the comment so I don't misquote anybody. But from what I remember, it was basically saying, this seems to be a not uncommon dynamic between couples. And until women stop being martyrs, it will continue to be that way. And then somebody else replied to that comment and said, sexist much? And it was very interesting when I read that reply to the comment because I was like, I kind of agree with the opening comment. And it's not really like the user who commented is sexist. It's more of like our society is sexist, and then we were all brought up into these gender roles of who women should be and who men should be and how women and men should work together and how they should act with each other. And I was like, maybe we are women that is pegged into this role of like martyrdom, and then we get really pissed off about it because we don't want to be martyrs. And I was like, I don't know, that comment sounded kind of valid to me, but now I really want to find it. I don't want you to beat up anybody. I just want to talk about it because I don't like every time we comment on gender roles and men and women, we are like very trigger happy these days to be like, that's sexist and that's whatever ism. But like, are you criticizing the comment and the thought, or are you criticizing the system at large? Because when we are functioning still under a system of different kinds of oppression because of identities that we've created for ourselves, it's not really false to say things like they are, but the system itself is faulty because we continue to operate under its rules, which are arbitrary and unfair and all sorts of unjust. So Aaron judges my cooking because we started doing that during the pandemic because he was the only person I was living with who could taste test on Budget Eats, and we thought it would make the show funner for him to be a judge of some sort. So like that's kind of become his role. I don't mind it, but I think it makes a lot of other people uncomfortable because we don't really seem to be able to hear things that make us unhappy, you know? I get it. I don't take criticism very well either. But it's a different thing when you've asked someone to participate.
You take criticism
Ooh,
of
can I?
you take criticism of your food well.
I
You
take
don't take
criticism.
criticism of yourself.
Well, who takes criticism of themselves well? Like, it sucks to be told that you are not perfect because our society wants us to be perfect. That's the last slice of cake left. It's very pretty. There's also a shit ton of stuff that we have to do and have to behave and have to act like in order for every other person from every other walk of life to be like, yeah, you're a good person. It's so much. It's so much pressure. He is working for fucking free in Budget Eats. It's not his job. He hasn't gotten paid for his appearances, and then he gets shit online. Like, that's the kind of world we live in. I also get a lot of comments that instruct me to do certain things, like show more of your face in your lives, or can you do this recipe next? Which I understand they don't mean to sound like that. They probably don't sound like that coming from their perspective, but from my perspective, I'm just like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. And like, when you get so many of these comments, it's just like, do I owe you anything? I didn't think I owed you something, but it certainly sounds like I owe you stuff. Which is another reason why I haven't set up any sort of Patreon either, because I've always been uncomfortable of being at the mercy of other people. And I feel like when there is a monetary exchange, it makes that relationship more solidified in terms of I owe you things now because you gave me something. So it's kind of like the feeling of being indebted to strangers that kind of unconsciously and consciously now wear down on me. Aaron is kind of a martyr on Budget Eats, I think. And I think that's another reason why I don't feel like doing other people judging on Budget Eats now anymore. It adds more material for Zach to edit, and it becomes extraneous in a way, and it causes pressure and friction in personal relationships. That's just not worth it. The amount to which the environment surrounding the pandemic has affected everyone's personal relationships is like unmeasurable at this point. I think we were always afforded a certain type of distance, and we as in like the royal we of the entire world, and not just we as in me and Aaron. We were always afforded some sort of distance, and like the pandemic took that distance away, and we just saw more of everything, and it just becomes overwhelming. It's kind of like over salting your food. A little bit of salt is necessary, a little bit more of salt can be delicious, and then you add in way too much fucking salt and you're like, this isn't edible. This is unbearable. So I'm layering the greens with a little bit of paper towel every inch or two or so. That way we can capture some of the excess moisture. Excess moisture causes more rot to happen faster, especially with fragile, gentle, fresh greens like spinach. And it is time to break out the immersion blender. Remember getting on the first few episodes of Budget Eats that told me to like dump Aaron. I was like, what the fuck is going on? People are fucking weird, man. These days, people are fucking weird. This is a Braun. I got it refurbished from like Amazon warehouse. Work was ordering it for me, and I was like, can I get this refurbished one from the warehouse? And they were like, oh no, you can buy new. And I was like, I don't want fucking new. This one is perfectly fine. Thank you very much. The emphasis we have on things being new equals better irritates me to no end. And chat is still here. I'm not sure what's happening on your end. Aaron, do you want to come taste the dip and tell me your thoughts and what we can do to make it better? Do you want it on a slice of bread or just on its own?
Oh,
Let me taste it. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can see that being good spread over some bread.
So it's done?
Yep. Excellent work.
Fred is in the bedroom. He was here and very cute. But I cannot bring you to him now. I have things to do, in case you can't tell. Important things, like making spinach dip out of vegan cheese and sad spinach. See? Oh, that does taste good. Mmm. Hell yeah. Definitely a better use for that mozzarella cheese. All the spices that didn't seem to belong in a mozzarella block belongs in the spinach dip. I mean, Misty, I agree. I think it's really easy. Like, as a person who's highly critical, it is always easier to see parts of yourself in other people and tell them to not do those things, as if you were telling yourself to not do those things. But in the very act of telling someone else to not do that thing that you know you have done before, it's almost like you're creating this distance of you're the perpetrator and doing it. Therefore, if I'm pointing it wrong in you, I can't be the perpetrator because I'm the opposite of that. It's kind of like a self-soothing technique in a way. I do it too. I'm guilty of that. As charged. It's not a good thing. It hurts other people, but I still do it. What is it? What is that saying? That sounds really stupid, but it's probably true that they say. Like, hurt people hurt people. That. Did we take our vitamins? Did we drink enough water? Those are the reminders I have for you right now. Drink water, guys. Drink tea too. Alright, I'm calling it quits. These are all going in the compost. Not bad. Not bad. Now I need a jar. Okay, I feel like that's a peanut butter jar's worth of stuff. Do you want or need the kitchen now?
Do I want to use the kitchen?
Yeah?
No.
Okay. Ta-da! Spinach dip. I'm putting the spinach dip in the fridge. Middle shelf. By the way, for those of you who are curious how Lala liked the youtiao that we made last week, not into it. She says, don't add any sugar. Although I don't know if she tastes the sugar. She said I added too many stuff. She just wants flour. So next time we'll just maybe slip her like 2 mystery ingredients, not 5,000, and she can't tell. That spinach dip is really good. So for my lunch, I'm just gonna heat up a little bit of my radish broccoli stem oden of sorts. I've never made oden before. It is one of my biggest food regrets that I never ate oden when I was in Japan a few years ago. I need to figure out how to make it better, because I feel like that is a true comfort food. I didn't add this. These jeans I found at a thrift store for like $4. They're like a slight big on me, but I could not pass up these very 90s looking fringes on the bottom. We need a better look on these. Check it out. Oh, was it the 80s? I'm sorry. I associate them with the 90s. see and read Ukraine. Believe it or not, I've stopped reading the news. It has done wonders because the first day when the news cycle picked up the war, I was oblivious, and I was like, "What's happening?" And it was wonderful. Life was great. Being ignorant is very underrated right now. I don't know, man. What is there to say? It's fucking war. War's never fucking good. I just don't understand why we gotta do this over and over again. Like, why? Why, Fred? Tell me why. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me what. This world makes no sense, guys. What is there to say? What you doing, Freddy? Looking all cute? Hmm? And it's like, at the end of the day, I've been wondering about if I have a moral obligation to read the news. Because it's certainly not doing me any favors, but is it moral to be in the know? I feel like the impulse is to say yes, but if I really don't seem to have any power or sway over controlling the miseries that other people go through, like, who do I have a moral obligation to do that for even? So. Fred is very sad as well. Look at you guys. Look. You just made him so sad. Hey. Are you sad about war too, Fred? Are you sick and tired of this shit? Earth would be better off having a common enemy. And you know what? Earth does have a common enemy. It's just we are our own enemies, and that enemy is unfortunately the only one you cannot defeat. You can only lose in that war. Do you want to smell Oden? Oh, I think you hate the radish, but you smell the bonito, right? You like the bonito. Here's our broccoli stem. Here's our daikon radish. Very nice, very tender. Cuts with a spoon, like so. This was made in the Instant Pot. The radish just soaks up all the flavor. This is nice. It's been a while since I've had a live where I just sat on the floor and ate with you guys. Fred is saying hi. Fred is sitting in the corridor greeting you.
I don't see him.
Okay, he's more sitting in the foyer greeting you.
Okay. Cats greet.
Hi, Sweden. I mean, Fred greets in his own way. You can't expect him to greet you like a dog, because he's not a dog.
That's what I want.
Then you should get a dog.
No, I want a cat with a dog's personality.
We just don't have furniture, guys. We have chairs, we have a bed, we have one desk. Well, now we have a dining table, but like, every time my friends come over, when they used to come over, there will be no place to sit but the floor. This is it. This is why nobody ever comes over. If you don't want to ever host people over, just don't have furniture. Then you'll always have a very good excuse. Split pea soup sounds great. I hope yours turn out amazingly well. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys want to talk about anything, I'm open. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here and eat my soup on live stream. Just, you know, stuff that normal people do. little hop. Sometimes Fred likes to jump up to the bed from the floor, and he does this very like even plank hop where it just looks like he's in a video game, and all of a sudden he's just like pounce. But all four of his paws leave the floor at the same time, so he's just like one solid cat mass hovering over onto the bed. He's magic. He's magical. You know, it's funny, we do want to get him a cat buddy, but our apartment is a little bit too small, and also he has like cat HIV. He's FIV positive, so we need to get another FIV positive cat. But also, I've noticed that when it's just one of us here, Fred doesn't wake us up in the middle of the night. When it's both of us here, Fred will meow to no end. So I don't know what it is about two people being here and him being more needy and vocal. Doesn't he know that it's just me moving the paper around? I often wonder that. Does he think that I'm playing with him and therefore he's humoring me by playing with it? Mm-hmm. Who's the pet? Who's the human? We'll never know. You know what I still have to do? I still have to put the split pea soup away. Alright, y'all. I think we've come to the end of our time together. There's Fred, back again. Stalking away like he's excellent at doing. Hi, Fred. You just waiting there for something? I never know what you want, buddy. It would be nice if you could speak once in a while. Oh, I get to gnaw on this big ham bone today, too. What a treat. So I like my pea soup really thick. This way, when I warm it up, I can add water as I desire to thin it out. Always start thick, and then you can dilute easily. This also takes up much less space in the fridge if you keep it in concentrated form, because less volume, less water. So those are my tips for you. What do you think, Fred? He's coming to check my work. Do you want to smell it? No. He says no. He does not like. I don't think rutabaga is a squash. I think it's a root vegetable. Leftover baked potato. I have no idea. I don't have that recipe. Bye, Fred. What is a leftover baked potato? Like, when you bake too many potatoes and you have leftovers, can you just make mashed potatoes with it? That would be my go-to move. Or a potato curry, probably. But potato is so versatile, you could probably also make potato bread with it. You can make potato soup. Anything that you could make with a raw potato, you can probably make with a baked potato. And it will take you less time. If you want to join my Patreon, I will be gnawing the ham bone on there for 3 hours. JK, I don't have a Patreon. But if I did have a Patreon, that would be the kind of stupid, mindless content I would put up in exchange for your money. So if you're in, let me know. I was thinking we could like try to, cross some genres and provide the people with a little bit of like faux performance art. Bring something new to the platform. It's always been such an equal exchange of you pay me $5 per month and I'll write you some deep, interrogative, thought-provoking material, or give you a video or give you a shout out. But like, what if I just add more shit to your life that you don't actually need or want? Because I feel like that's what most of our society is anyway. You end up working hard to earn money to pay for shit you don't want or need. Like wars in other countries. And with that, have a good rest of your Saturday. Again, take your vitamins, drink some water, say bye to Fred. Boop, 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 boop. Boo, 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 boo. Bye, folks.